And it's time for another What Does This Button Do show. This is episode 57. Hard to believe that it is episode 57. Anyway, where's the, it is an educational show about smartphones and tablets. Pretty cool, from Geeks On Tour. Hi, everyone. I'm Jim, and here together with my wife, Chris, we are Geeks On Tour. Do you think your smartphone is smarter than you? Do you have questions about your Android phone or your iPad tablet? And how do you learn about these amazing devices?
Well, we are geeks who teach, and we think the best way to learn is in bite-sized pieces on a regular basis. So we came up with this show, and we do this every week. We try to come up with a beginner's lesson to teach something new each week. On our website, geeksontour.com, there's several hundred tutorial videos on all the topics we teach.
Wow. Okay, I can't reach that. So where are we now, Chris?
We are at home. That's something new to say. We're usually at home wherever we are because we're in the RV, but we now are staying at my mom's condo in Fort Lauderdale, Florida. And we're trying to find a place to store the RV while we're here.
Yeah.
It's not turning out to be very easy.
No, well,
we're just here for a few days and then we're back on the road anyway.
We got work to do, don't we? Okay. So today's show, I think we have a good show for you. Tip of the week.
Tip of the week has changed since I wrote that. So tip of the week is about the Do Not Disturb feature.
Okay, and the beginner's lesson this week is on text messaging. And that is such a huge, huge topic. So we're going to take it a piece at a time. App of the week, we're going to talk about some of the alternative messaging apps out there, like the Facebook Messenger and WhatsApp, Google Plus Photos. Okay, if you have questions, please ask them here in the comments, either on the event page where we are and on the YouTube channel. The show is recorded on YouTube, and you can find that there on our YouTube channel. We do invite you to become a member. We are member supported, and if you do that, you will have access to all the show notes, you'll have access to the forum, and all kinds of other things. So, the tip of the week.
Okay. The tip of the week is do not disturb. And it fits in well with text messaging because we think that when you're driving, you should not let text messages come through. So just want to make sure that you know how to do the do not disturb feature. All right, so I'm going to switch over to the showing you the iPhone.
iPhone, iPad.
Yeah, on the iPhone, do not disturb is really easy. You swipe up from the bottom. Do that. Swipe up from the bottom to reveal what's called the control panel. And then do not disturb is that little moon. And it's on. And the Apple even has another feature in your settings. You can tell it to automatically turn on Do Not Disturb for certain hours. And what that does is it turns off all notifications, alerts, alarms. So it gives you quiet time. Now, in a previous episode, we've taught to turn on airplane mode if you want a completely solid Do Not Disturb. But if you want to do anything else with your phone, then that would be a problem. So this Do Not Disturb just turns off the sounds. And not all Android devices have it, but mine does. And mine is a Samsung Galaxy S5.
And you're the only one that matters, right?
And I'll bet you some of yours do too. So let me just show you where it is on mine. The same kind of control center or shortcuts is available at the top on the Android. And then if I look at these shortcuts up here, there is Do Not Disturb. Now, if you don't see it right there, you might need to tap on the 4 squares to see more of the options rather than just the shortcuts that are on the first screen, and you should see Do Not Disturb. Now, I don't want mine to be quiet in case we get some messages, so I'm turning that back off. So Do Not Disturb on means no sounds. Do Not Disturb off means sounds come through.
That sounds good.
Okay.
All right, then.
Then back to here.
Good tip of the week. So, why use text messaging?
Well, as one of our viewers posted already, says their grandkids are forcing them into it. That's probably the number one reason. You need to communicate with other people the way they like to communicate. That's the best way you're going to get through. And kids today are all about texting.
Yeah, and they're using all kinds of apps too for texting.
And we really don't use texting all that much.
We do when it's necessary, and sometimes it is. So we'll talk about some of those things there.
Well, and it's instant. That's the number one thing.
Okay.
It's instant to anybody that has a cell phone, and it's private rather than calling and making the person listen to this phone ring and they have to answer it and then they're talking. Well, what if they're at dinner and, their talking would disturb the other people? Or in my case, the main person I text with is a friend of mine who visits my mom at the assisted living facility. And we communicate with each other to find out what's going on. And I tell her some things that I want her to do. Well, it would just be very disturbing for her to be talking on the phone while she's sitting with my mom, but the text works. What about you? When do you text?
I text.
You don't text very much at all.
No, I text most of the time when I text I'm answering somebody else's text. I'm just responding to a text that I've received. But other times, sometimes your phone just doesn't work. Like inside a building. Like, I'll be in a store and I'll try and make a phone call and the phone call just doesn't go through for whatever reason. Usually it's a signal issue. But I have found that often, texts will go through when a phone call won't.
Because text is using the voice channel, right? But it's kind of a lower level of it. It's only using a little bit, so it doesn't take much power.
Okay.
Doesn't take much oomph. And most cell plans today include unlimited text. Now, it didn't used to be that way. Texting used to be very expensive, like 20 cents each. So if you did 1,000 texts, that's what? I can't do that math, but it would be a lot of money. And if it's true SMS, short messaging service, that's what text messages are. If it's true SMS, then it's using that text messaging application of your phone contract, okay, and not your data.
Okay, so that kind of goes back to the beginning of cell phones. There was 1G and 2G and 3G, and now we're in 4G. 5G is, I was just reading something about it. So 1G was just voice, and that was just the old analog, maybe the bag phone that I used to have when I worked for Tony. And 2G is when it added text. 3G was data. 4G is faster data and adding more things to it.
Yeah, so some people, I always ask a question when we teach our basic class, when you send text, is it using voice or data?
And the answer used to be it was using voice. Nowadays, with all of the data plans and the things that are out there, the answer is yes. It could be.
It uses all and it's actually a third line item on your bill, which is this slide now. So what is text messaging? Short messages sent through a cellular phone system. So if you have a Verizon contract, you are using your Verizon service. And you need a phone number to send a true text message to. It's known as SMS for short message service. Or if you add a photo or a video to it, it turns into MMS. And those even might be different line items on your bill. But it is a line item on your bill. So this is actually our plan through Verizon. And there's 3 line items: data, voice, and messages. Now, as we said, most current contracts give you unlimited voice and messages, text, and just charge for the data. We have an old unlimited data plan, so we're not going to change it. And that means we are paying for messages, but $5 for 250 messages, and then 20 cents each afterwards. So if we used a lot of messages, we'd be paying a bunch of money. But as it is, I think I've only gone over the 250 messages once. Okay. So $5 a month is no big deal to me.
Not a big deal at all.
Then there are messaging apps that use your internet services to send text, and it just gets really confusing, but that's what text messages are.
Anybody confused yet? Okay. What's this slideshow?
Okay. So messaging on Apple devices. On Apple devices, you use what came with your Apple device, and that's that green box with the white voice bubble in it. If you are sending a message to another Apple device, you see a blue bubble, and that is not using your text messaging services on your bill. It is using data or Wi-Fi because it understands what another Apple phone is, and it can use this different frequency, I guess. If you see a green bubble, it means you're sending the message to a non-Apple device, and you have to use the standard text messaging on your plan. And then there are others, Google Hangouts and Facebook Messenger, and we'll just mention them again at the end. And they primarily use data, but they can use SMS. Now on Android, you have more options. So on Android, you're going to have to learn which of the icons stands for your text messaging.
And that's pretty typical of Android over Apple, right? There are more choices.
Hopefully before you leave the store with your new phone, they will show you the app that you're supposed to use. So for example, the one that came with my phone is the one that looks like a little envelope. Then the red one came with Verizon. Notice it's called Message Plus, so it does have more features. And then there's the Google option, the Hangouts, which we covered in another episode. Episode 41, we covered Google Hangouts for messaging. All right, then you all know don't text and drive. And it sounds good, but when you hear that notification that you have a text, some people are way too, we get so few, it's not that big a deal. But if you get a lot and you hear that, you can get conditioned that you have to answer it. So we highly recommend that you use that do not disturb, or just mute your phone to turn off all sounds. And I'd have a website here, safetextingcampaign.com. You'll learn all sorts of more things if you go there, including some apps that can automatically mute your phone when it senses that you're driving.
That's a good idea.
Something's got to give there, because
well, now there are some tools on some cars and some phones where it'll read your text for you, but I think that's still distracting if you're
right.
So
having it come through your speakers.
Just to be safe, and just don't do it.
And if you really do need to text, pull off somewhere anyway.
Very good.
So I'm going to do a little demo on both the iPhone and the Android.
Yeah.
And I'm going to show you how to use your contacts to send a text, or how to send a text to just a phone number that somebody gives you, and what's going on when you see ads to send a text for a coupon, how to do that, how to send a picture in a text, how to receive a picture, and inserting smileys. I won't get to using Hangouts, I don't think. Okay. So I want to switch over
Yep.
to here.
I have a question over here.
Okay.
Let's see. Send photos by uploading on text. I guess that's texting, or a better way on vacation. Not sure I know exactly what you're talking about there, Richard, but
I will demonstrate sending a photo on texting and receiving one. So we'll see how that goes.
well, cool.
All right. So I now have the Jim's iPhone. I should probably make you do this, but then we'd have to rearrange here because this is Jim's phone. Hopefully that won't mess me
iPhone.
up. So I'm sure a lot of people saw the topic for today's lesson and said, what? You're going to give a whole lesson on texting? Texting is so simple. Well, if you just text to people you know, then yeah, it is simple. So you tap on contacts, and so we don't see all of Jim's contacts. I left it open to this one, and there's a mobile phone. And over on the right-hand side, you see that I have the choice to either call her or bubble her. That bubble is the representation for sending a text. Or I can tap on send message down here. I'm going to tap on the bubble. And it goes to creating a message to that person. And I just type the message. I'm going to say Happy Halloween. And oops, that didn't come out real good. I'm using swipe here. So let me try that again. H-A-O-A-E-N. There we go. That comes out better. But did you know, I've been reminded that you can send little emojis too. Now on this particular keyboard, the way you get to the little emojis is by holding down on where it has the S for swipe and go to emojis. And now I have not only happy faces, but I have other. There's more. You just swipe around, and there's one for Halloween.
There's always more.
And send. All right, and notice it's a green bubble. So what's that mean? That means that it is I am sending this to a non-Apple phone, so it's using my SMS, my text messages. I want to look at another keyboard here. Yeah. I'm just surprised I don't see the microphone.
There.
All right, so that's sending a message to a person in your contacts. But now let's say that we just meet somebody in a restaurant, and we end up in a conversation, and we tell them about a particular piece of an RV park where they want to go. Okay. And they said, "Oh, would you text me that information?" Well, we're probably never going to see them again. And so we don't want to add them to our contacts, but we want to send them that information. So what you do is you just open up your messages, go back to messages, and at the top of the screen, there's a little pencil. That means create a new message. Now, instead of putting in a person's name, you can just put in a phone number. So I have one here that is somebody I know, but the number isn't actually in our. So you just type in the person's number, and then here's a great park. It's in Miami and called, and this is not called, and this is not for real. All right, and I send. And it has sent that message to that phone number. And she's going to get this and say, what in the world? It is actually, it's Erin's phone number. Okay, now what if I wanted to send a picture? So step one, you got to take a picture. So I'm just going to do our standard, take a selfie here.
Oh, isn't that nice?
Yeah. Okay. So I now have a picture, and the way I would send it via a text message is to use the share icon. So I want to share that picture. And next, and it says, okay, how do you want to share it? Do you want to share it using email? No, I want to share it in a text message. So that's message. And then and then I can either, now that's Erin. She says no pic in text. Nope, there wasn't in that one. So this time I'm gonna send this to somebody who's in here. All right. How about Alex? And her mobile phone. And notice it's waiting for another person too. I can send it to her and to that phone number that I just did. 319170124. So I am now sending a picture to two people, and I want to write something. So I'm putting it, do I write something?
What's the TH up at the top there?
Ooh. Okay.
Be careful.
Well, I'm not having a good time here. I don't see where to write something. I'm just going to send the picture. Okay. And now notice on the messages, I have received a message. That's what that little red badge is for. And this is the friend who is at the other end of this number saying that she didn't get any picture in that text, but she should on the next one. So that picture was sent to a group, those two people. Now we did just happen, or Jim did just happen, to receive a picture this morning that he was part of a group. Oh, okay, let's see what she said. There you are. Hello out there in cyberspace. So that's how you know your message got received by somebody. She has responded. Okay. But now let's go to one. So here is a picture that Jim received on his phone of the grandkids at Halloween. Everybody got pictures of their grandkids at Halloween, I'll betcha. Now, if at some point I delete this message, that picture is gone. So you want to be able to save the picture to your photos, right?
Okay, yeah.
Okay. So all you do is long press on the picture, and these options pop up, one of which is save. So I tap on save, and now if I go to your photos, either the Google Photos or the Apple one, but we'll stick with Apple for now. There it is. There's both the selfie we just took plus the picture of the grandkids. Okay. Now I'm clear to delete that message.
Okay, how do you do that?
How do I do that? So first of all, that's the message right there. And as I've only just learned, the way to long press doesn't do anything. It just opens it. So I go back. But if you tap on edit in the upper left-hand corner, now you get a little kind of checkbox next to each message. Tap on that message and you can tap on delete.
Very cool.
So that's how
Very cool.
So that's how you delete a message. All right. And I think I am then done with iPhone, unless there's any questions. Oh, sending a text for a coupon. Let me just show you what I mean first. And
There, Richard did elaborate here. With an iPhone and on vacation, what's the best way to send photos of vacation to several family members? You share on texting, or perhaps for many photos, use another system. And he doesn't like Facebook. He says it's too public. Well, there's a way to make a group in Facebook, and we'll talk about that in another.
Well, you can send just individually to, if you learn how to share with just individual people in Facebook, then it's not public. You know, it's not, nothing I do except for on our page on Facebook is public. Everything is directed either to just my friends or to just particular people, and
so
you can do that.
Choose who those are going to be.
So that would be my favorite way, actually. But
no, I think your favorite way, actually, for a vacation would be a blog.
Oh yeah, a blog. But then, and you can limit that to particular people. You don't have to make it public like ours is. The problem with texting is that you need to have a phone plan. So in order to text. So if you're on vacation in Mexico or something, you very likely don't have a phone plan.
That's a great point. Yeah.
But if you can get Wi-Fi somewhere, you can send them via email. My favorite way would be to use Google Photos, upload them, let Google Photos upload them, and then just send a link via email to the people you want to share it with. And that can all be done over Wi-Fi. Of course, so can Facebook or WhatsApp or Instagram or
all of the others. It's just overwhelming for most. But yeah, if you're on vacation and you want to save those pictures, I think Google Photos is probably your best bet.
Right, because you'll take all the pictures with the phone and they'll just sit there until such time as you get an internet connection, probably Wi-Fi if you're on vacation, and they will then go up to your Google account.
Right.
Then you select the ones you want to share, click share, and you can either send them an email, Facebook, or just send a link to whoever you want.
Well, the nice thing about texting is it's instantaneous.
Right.
So if you have a picture that you just want to get out there to everyone right now, as it's just happened, then texting is the way to do it. If you're just trying to gather all of your vacation pictures, then the Google Photos, and since you're going to be using your phone anyway, Google Photos will be keeping those pictures for you, right?
Texting is nice, but realize that the people receiving them need to know how to save them. I don't know. But,
we go back and
but
forth.
Yeah, texting does just go to a phone. So that I understand how that has a little bit of a privacy comfort feeling to it.
Okay.
But you do have to have a phone plan, an active phone plan.
Right.
Okay, show what's on the screen here.
That's
Have you ever seen something like this? I know when we go to some of the big RV rallies, they have a way that they can send out a text to everybody at the rally with information about what's going on, but you have to sign up for that. So in this lower box here, it says, FMCA can send text messages to your cell phone to alert you to convention news. To subscribe to this service, text the word FMCA to 313131. Or you can get coupons at different stores. Lots of foods, lots of restaurants have this kind of thing. So this says, text the word gifted to 231892 to join the program. And now you don't even know what benefits that gets, but let's show you how to do that. So I'm still on the iPhone, and you just need to open your text messaging app, which is Messages, and create a new message. Now, Abercrombie & Fitch is certainly not in my contact list, but I'm just looking at that message that says text the word gifted to 231892. So under 2, it is 231892. And then in the message, you just type gifted. And we'll see what happens. I tap on send. Oh, this is Jim's phone, isn't it? That's good. Because I've just signed him up for something. But it says I have to reply yes to agree to get these marketing texts. So I am not going to do that. And this is not, but there might be a program that you want to sign up for, or a coupon. Like I was at a hair salon and it said, text this word to this number to get 20% off your next haircut. And it worked. It was great. So that's how you do that.
Time for haircuts.
All right. Oh, Alex is responding.
Alex is saying, what?
Why is she getting that message? Okay. Yeah, there you are. And see, you don't even have to type any words. You can just send those little emojis. And notice this microphone in the lower right-hand corner here. If you're in a quiet environment, you don't have to type at all. You can talk. So I can say, hey, Alex, thanks for playing. Oh, and
what'd you do?
Tap and hold to record and send audio. No, I want to just have it transcribe. Well, this isn't working like my phone.
That's because it's my phone.
Right. And it's probably because of this swipe keyboard that I'm using. There we go. With the swipe keyboard doesn't have the little microphone on it. The regular iPhone keyboard does. So I tap on the microphone and, hey, Alex, thanks for playing. And send. But I don't know about you, I'm usually in a noisy place when I choose to text. That's the reason I choose to text rather than phone call somebody. So I don't use that too often. But a lot of people like being able to talk and have it transcribed rather than typing. Okay, now same things on an Android phone. Step 1 is to use your contacts. So you don't have to know anything about messaging. If you know who you want to message, you just go to contacts. And I've left it at the same person here. I have the choice to either make a phone call or send a message with a little envelope icon. So I send a message. And once again, I'm just going to say Happy Halloween and tap send. And that's all there is to it to somebody who's in your contact. And so something that I sent a little while ago was a landline. And it says, a landline cannot get a text message. This is very true. All right. And next, if I want to send a message to a phone number, I'm going to back up. And now on this messaging system, which might be different than the one that you're using, I have a little green pencil in the lower right-hand corner. And this is where I can type a number. Oh, and she is still in my contact list, but you can just type a number there. Then you can also put a comma. I typed a comma and that said, okay, I'll send to her. Now, who else should I send to? And this time I'm gonna say Jim, and I'll select him from my list. So this has now been converted to a group conversation. And I'm going to say, what am I going to say? I'm going to say, hope you're having And here I will use the microphone on this one. A great weekend, and we'll continue to have a wonderful week. Hope you're having a wonderful week. Okay, so oops, it's still listening to me.
Tap it to stop.
Okay. Well, you have to be prepared for what you're going to say to somebody when you start this stuff.
Oh, preparation is over. Way overrated.
So here we go again. Hope you're having a great week. We'll visit soon. And send. Now that is going to 2 people. It is a group message. And it's still listening to me. You got to watch it. Okay. And as somebody brought up last week, when you send a group message, if you are on the receiving end of that message and you reply, you will automatically be replying to both.
Or everyone.
But I am just going to trash that message. I just tapped the trash can up at the top. Oh, and I had asked for a delivery report to whenever I send a message to Jim. So that's what just came in. All right. I'm erasing all that stuff. I don't want that. So we sent a message to a contact. We sent a message to just a phone number and added another person to make it a group message. Now, if you want to attach something, you can tap on the little paper clip and you can attach an audio recording, a map, another contact list, or an image, and you can take a picture. But as I showed you before, I prefer to take the picture first and then share to a text message. But this one's kind of cool. I could share my location. So if somebody's trying to meet me and they can't find me, I can attach a map and send that location. But I really don't want to do that. So I just backed up on that. So what messaging app was that using? Whatever is the default, because I started by just going to contacts. And this is the app that is the default. But what if I wanted to use this app instead? This is the app that came with the Samsung. This is the app that came from Verizon. If I tap on that app, it's going to tell me that it is not the default for text messaging, and I can change it. Or if I want to see all my choices, I can go to Settings and Applications and Default Applications. And then under Messages, it tells me I have 3 apps that I may or may not want to use for messages. Let's say I want to use Hangouts because this is Google. I love all things Google.
We are Google evangelists.
Yeah. This one actually is every bit as complicated as some of the others, but let's use that. And why do I really like using that one? Because it's part of my Google account. So if I sent some messages and I drop my phone in the ocean, those messages are still in my Google account right alongside my email. If I look at my email online, I will also see the messages. Okay. So let's see how I would get a picture from here. So let's find one here. Here's somebody that sent me a picture.
Okay.
Yeah.
Somewhere in there's a picture.
I thought she did. Nope. Where's a picture when you want to find one, huh?
You probably already deleted it.
Yeah. Okay. Oh, and this is what we're using for this video call, so it's up there. All right, I'm not finding a picture. I should have sent one to myself from your account.
Yeah.
Huh. That looks like it has a picture in it. There we go. So here is a text I received with a picture. If I tap on the picture, I see it more full screen, and then I don't see any save option. I do see 3 dots, so whenever you see 3 dots, check it out, and there is save. So I tap on save. So the issue is it's going to be different on your program. Your app is going to be different, but just look, tap, long press, look for the menu options, and there is a way to take a picture out of a text message and save it to your gallery. So I just saved that one. Now I can go to my gallery and go to my gallery. And it's in a album on the Android called Download, because it figures I got it from a text message and I downloaded it to my device.
Okay, now, will that get backed up to Google Photos?
Will that get backed up to Google Photos? If the download folder is being watched by Google Photos, okay. Yes. I think I have mine not being watched, and that is a setting in Google Photos on the Android. I can tell it that I do want these backed up. All right.
Okay.
And have I had enough?
I think so. I know I have.
So texting, there's a lot to it, and it doesn't have to be. Most of us just receive a text and we reply to it, you know, and that's, you want to be able to put in some smiley faces. You want to be able to talk your message if you don't feel like typing, and then just know how to send.
Good deal. All right.
So back to the slideshow.
Yeah.
And any other questions?
Let's take a look here. Bill says he lost us on Google, but not on YouTube. Don't know what that's all about.
Okay.
Sit up. Come closer.
To elaborate with iPhone and no.
Yeah.
Don't to elaborate.
No way.
Okay, already did that one.
All right. Now that's not a slideshow yet, but it should be. We do invite you to like us on Facebook. The app of the week, other messaging apps. Wow, and there's so many.
Yeah.
You can chat with others in the same service. So things like Facebook Messenger, you have to all be on Facebook Messenger. A lot of people didn't like Facebook Messenger when it came out because they thought it was spying on them. And the reason they thought it was spying on them is because it needed permissions for your camera and your microphone and your friends and that kind of stuff. Well, it actually needs, if you're going to use messaging, especially video and pictures and things like that, it does need those permissions to use those things. It's not going to be turning on your camera or your microphone, listening to you, and sending that information off to some...
I actually really like Facebook Messenger because most of my friends are on Facebook, so I don't have to know their phone number. They don't have to be in my contact list. They're a friend on Facebook. I tap the messenger icon and boom, instantly we're talking. And it can do video chats, and it can even send money. Now, I know this will probably freak a lot of people out, but I loved it. We were at a party and I wanted to give some money to the host of the party. Well, I didn't have enough cash on me. I didn't want to write them a check. I just pulled out Facebook Messenger and sent them some money, and it was received in their bank account.
That's too cool.
All you have to do is put in a debit card. Both sides need to have put in a debit card information.
Yeah. And some people are afraid to do that too. And, you know, it's, oh my, there's too many things. WhatsApp is another app. We found friends over in England were using WhatsApp more than they were using some of the other messaging that came with their plans on their cell phones, because it's a way to do it for free and you're not paying for those extra texts that they were using.
Right. All of these can work over Wi-Fi.
Right. Or, yeah. And Google Hangouts. We use Google Hangouts to do this show. We use Hangouts on air, but you can also use just chatting with your Google Hangouts. It's a great way. Viber is one that we've heard about. A lot of people use it. So
it has a lot of cutesy things. So, and once again, I think it's more popular overseas than it is here.
Okay. Wow. Did you learn something? What is the feature called to turn off all alerts and alarms?
Do not disturb. And definitely all Apple devices have it, and lots of Android devices now have it.
Okay. On Apple devices, a message you send may be a blue bubble or a green bubble. What do they mean?
So a blue bubble means that you are communicating with another Apple device, and it is going outside of your SMS text messaging. It is not using the text messages of your plan.
Okay.
A green bubble means you are communicating with a non-Apple device. Now, I have heard people talking that when they see a green bubble, it just basically means they're aliens. You know, everybody in their circle is Apple, so they only communicate with blue bubbles. It's you're out of it if you're a green bubble. But if you're a green bubble, then it is using your text messaging allotment. But as we said, most people's plans have that unlimited now anyway.
Mm-hmm. All right. So, how do you send one text message? How do you send one text messages to multiple people?
Okay, and skipped 3, but we can go back. How do you send one text? You just address it to multiple people, and you can, if there's no obvious way to just click on another person, you can type a comma, and then it'll let you type another number or whatever. And in some of the apps, you can define a group, and then that group stays there. But that's, you know, some of the apps, and I haven't actually ever done that.
No? Okay. On Android devices, there are several apps that can send text messages. And how do you set the default?
If you go into your system settings and default applications, you can tell it which one. And if yours doesn't have a default application system setting, then just try tapping on the app you want, and it will probably have a message saying, do you want me to be your default?
Okay. How do you send a text message to someone not in your contact list?
You have to open up your text messaging app. Then you can't do it from your contacts app. So you open up your text messaging app, and just in the to line, you put their cell phone number.
All right. True or false? You can't keep a picture that was sent in a text message.
Well, false. But you do need to save it first. If you delete the text message, the picture has gone with it. It's like a picture inside an envelope.
Okay. And we showed you how to do that, right?
Yes, we did.
Okay. So, Chris, what is the web page that lists all of our weekly shows?
GeeksOnTour.com, and the menu item is Weekly Show.
Okay, and the web page that lists all of our recent newsletters.
GeeksOnTour.com, the menu item is blogs and articles, and newsletters is under there.
Oh, cool. What benefits do you get from joining Geeks on Tour?
Access to all of our stuff, basically. That's what it is. The membership gets you access to all of our private stuff, the tutorial videos, the ability to ask us questions in the members Q&A forum, and the show notes of these shows.
Yeah, we do try and answer questions on our contact Us form that's on the web page, and if you send us an email with a question in it, we'll try and answer it. But those things get buried so easily. If you ask the question on our Q&A forum on our website, they'll stay there. We pay attention to that even more than you do anyway. So we do invite you to become a member. Go to geeksontour.com and click on Join Now. Next time, we're presenting a seminar at a computer club next Sunday.
Yes, we'll be up in Orlando to the Orlando Technology and Computer Club.
Something like that. Yeah, it should be a lot of fun, and we're going to try and do our show live from there. So episode 59 will be Smartphone Basics. Your questions and questions from our live audience. It should be a lot of fun. So watch for the notification for next week's show. Please click to let us know that you're going to join us, and leave any questions there in the comments. What's this? I keep laughing. Look at this stuff. I had one of those cameras. I had one of those boom boxes. Now,
go ahead.
Everything that's on this picture you can fit into your pocket.
Into your pocket, yeah. And you know what's not even on that table?
What?
Is a phone. There's no phone on there. It's all about music and videos and
cameras, all kinds of stuff.
Wow. And phones. But it is absolutely true. You used to have all of that stuff.
Mm-hmm.
Now it's just a smartphone.
All right. So we are Geeks on Tour, technology training, and what does this button do?
We're constantly trying to figure out what does this button do.
And we'll see you next week.
Bye.
Bye-bye.